You're an amazing woman. Just know that right now, how amazing you are. And when you look at your life, it's breathtaking, the accomplishments that you've had. People sing your praises. They tell you how amazing you are and what an impact you've made and just the amazing stuff that you've done. They come to you looking for answers, really seeing you as somebody who has solutions. And there's a part of you that knows this, yet underneath there's this insidious voice that begins to talk and say, yeah, but if you only knew who I really was, if you really knew who I was, there's no way you would be saying the things that you're saying. That insidious voice of the imposter syndrome. It stops so many of you in your tracks, and you don't even know what hit you. You just think it may be something that's going on outside, or you listen to it and you think it makes good sense. And then you cause yourself to not move forward. Hey Sharon, talking about the imposter syndrome. You cause yourself to not move, you stop yourself from moving forward with the very thing that you know you are here meant to do. My name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. And in this Facebook Live, I want to dig deep into this whole thing around the imposter syndrome and to really give you some good, solid tools to work with in order for it to never stop you again. Here's the thing. The world needs you to know how amazing you are, not from a place of ego or a place of arrogance, but from a deep place of humility. Because when you really know the gift that you are, the gift of your presence, then you will step more fully into the magnificence that is you and bring your gift at a much higher level, impacting so many more people around you. And that's what we're up to. This is what we're up to today. And you want to stick around because I have an amazing invitation for you to take this deeper. So, you know what I'm talking about. You know that voice that when things start going really well and people, they're coming to you and they're saying, oh my gosh, you changed my life. What you did for me was just indescribable. It's crazy how much my life has changed because of you. Every single one of you can think of a time that somebody said that to you. And then it happens multiple times, right? And if your dream is big enough and expansive enough and really inviting you into a much more expanded place than you've ever been before, chances are there is going to be a voice that gets activated. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. There's going to be a voice that gets activated and says, who in the heck do you think you are? If they only knew who you really were, there's no way they would be saying those things. I'm not the first one that talks about the imposter syndrome. There are a lot of amazing people out there that talk about this subject. And I've just had several conversations recently with people that I've just been in conversation with and with clients that are becoming more and more aware of how insidious that voice is and how that voice will do everything it can to stop you. And I tell you, when it gets more active, when it gets the most active is when you start making really good momentum. That success is starting to happen. And you can see things beginning to change. You can see the momentum building in your life. Well, Diana, so good to see you here. Diana talking about the imposter syndrome. I know this is some of the amazing work you do with your folks as you help them learn how to have those heart-centered enrollment conversations. So, first of all, understand that the imposter syndrome is a very real thing. This is not a pretend concept that somebody made up just to make you feel bad about yourself. Imposter syndrome is a very real thing. What happens is that when you have a dream and you're moving towards your dream and things start happening, you do what's called activate your ceiling. Gay Hendricks wrote the book, The Big Leap, where he talks about the upper limit. You have a way of seeing yourself that's a perfect fit for the life that you created up to this point. It's not a fit for your dream life. When you start working, and this is the thing that I work on with people, when you start working with a more expanded version of you, you start working with really building out a dream, you will start seeing yourself do things that your old you won't even be able to recognize. And it's like you haven't caught up yet. It's like you got to catch up with yourself and your newfound success. And realizing that there is a voice in you that will literally do everything it can to keep you right where you are. You know how to do where you are. People know you from where you are. They don't know this higher version of you. And sometimes the people around us don't even know how to handle that or what to do with it, how to relate to it. I actually had a really, really, really good friend of mine. I thought she was a good friend. And we went back decades. Who, when my business really started taking off, said that it was too hard to be around me, that it was too painful to be around my success. Now, never mind that I had a husband that was ill and my brother had just died. She saw the success. And so there's a part of us and said that it was too uncomfortable to be around me because of what was happening in my life. And there's this part of us that gets afraid of that. There's this part of us that gets afraid that if you get really, really successful, you won't fit in. And if you don't fit in, sorry about that. They're doing the yard. And right there, right, that noise right there of talking about not fitting in. If you don't fit in, then you don't belong. And if you don't belong, then you must be an imposter. So it's a real thing that, and the purpose of the imposter syndrome, from my perception, is that it invites us to dig deep into really coming to know who you really are. It invites you to really dig deep in accepting, and not just accepting, but embracing the brilliance that is you. Because if you're not reaching for something more expansive, and there's not a part of you that starts talking and saying, who do you think you are? Then there's no reason for you to dig deeper and to discover, well, this is who I am, to discover more of who you are. So the imposter syndrome actually serves a purpose. I know it doesn't feel that way. I know sometimes it can just be, there's that voice again. And it can be so uncomfortable. It can be painful. And left unattended, it can be the thing that stops you. My theory is that that voice starts talking when you have not caught up with yourself, in order to invite you to dig deep and to discover, this is who I am. So you have a dream, you're moving toward your dream. It's an expansive, amazing, powerful dream. How do I know? Because you're an amazing, expansive, powerful woman, and you can only have super powerful dreams. You're moving forward, things are happening. You know, your world around you is responding. You haven't caught up with that yet. The way you see yourself, the way you relate to yourself, the way you know yourself, you know, literally your beingness, your body has not caught up yet. And the imposter syndrome is just, it's like a spotlight that shows you where there are parts of you that haven't caught up yet. And so rather it being a bad thing, what if it's like a celebration? Ooh, imposter syndrome showing up. That must mean I'm doing something bigger than anything I've ever done before. That must mean that I've stepped into some really bold stuff. And now it's me catching up. I'm catching up with myself. So I want to give you 3 possible scenarios that pop up for people that really wake the imposter syndrome up. And then what to do with those scenarios. All right, so scenario number 1. Not really understanding the depth of knowledge and value that we bring. So I'm going to use Diana Sabatino as an example. Diana, I watched you for years play around with whether or not you really wanted to help women increase their ability to have a heart-centered enrollment conversation so they could help people, they could serve people. And what I notice is that so often we, women in particular, and I don't so much do it anymore because I've done so much work around this and I've had amazing teachers, but you discount your knowledge. You discount the value that you bring because you think everybody else has got it. You think because it comes so easy for you, everybody should know how to do this. And what you don't realize is that not everybody knows how to do it. In fact, very few people know how to do it. You are what I call an unconscious competent. You just do it automatically. So again, Diana Sabatino, she just does it automatically. And it requires work. I don't know if work's the right word, but it requires a level of realization and awareness to truly own the depth of the value and the knowledge and your expertise that you bring. And it requires a degree of humility to own the expertise that you bring. Again, so often, particularly women, you want to discount your expertise, afraid that you seem arrogant. Well, here's the thing. To claim your expertise means that you are acknowledging the depth of the work that you've done to build those expertise, your experience, and then your natural talent. Now, natural talent's not alone, but I had a client who was so well versed in health and well-being. Bernadette was her name. And she wanted to build a business but around helping people build out better health, but couldn't imagine people paying her for it because it came so easily for her. Number one, she didn't believe she should be paid because it was too easy for her. It's like you can get paid if it's hard. But that's what people are paying you for, right? That's what people are investing in. They're investing in the ease that you bring because they want that for themselves. So they're investing in your level of expertise that now makes it easier. So there's two things in step one, is being really recognizing that you are an unconscious competent, that it comes so automatically. Number one, that you are an expert in what you're bringing. And that, I stay committed to continuing to grow my expertise. I don't stop where I am. I continue to grow my expertise, but to own that you are an expert. And the fact, in fact, I just had this conversation with another client of mine, that she was in basically a negotiation with a company that was hiring her. And she wanted to do it by the hour. Sorry about that, my dog's coming in and out. She thought she should do it by the hour, and it was a low hourly wage. And she said, but it's so easy for me. It'll come so quickly. And I said, that's what they're paying for. That's what brings it value, that you can go in and get it done quicker. You don't want to penalize yourself for that level of expertise. You want to actually claim it as value. So the part that says, who do I think I am, if you only knew, and possibly talks about, that voice says, well, this is just too easy, and everybody knows this. Well, number one, it's easy because you've done the work to become an expert, and not everybody knows it. Not everybody knows this. So don't discount the fact that it's easy for you, and do not assume that everybody knows what you know. The very fact that they're reaching out and they're asking you for help is evidence that people don't know how to do it. This is not natural information that you have, that's your expertise for most people. And people want it. People are hungry for it. All right, so number one, the cause behind the imposter syndrome is often that you are an unconscious competent, which means it comes so naturally for you that you just can't see what the big deal is. Own the big deal. Own the big deal. Own the value, and know that the fact that it's easy for you actually increases the value, does not decrease the value. Number two, another thing that I often hear from people. Oh, and by the way, with the client who was like, oh, this is so easy. we worked on what she was going back to ask for, and she tripled what she was asking for. And they said, of course, we want your expertise, whatever it takes. All right, so number two, you can always look around and see that there's somebody else who's doing it better than you, right? Anywhere we go, that voice will say, yeah, but so-and-so can do it a whole lot better than you can. You know, maybe they should just go work with so-and-so. There's always going to be people that are further down the road than you are. But they're not going to them. They're coming to you, which means you have exactly what they need to move forward. If they wanted that other person, they would have gone for that other person. Again, it goes back very similar to what I talked about with number one, but with a little bit of different twist. You bring your unique twist on things. You bring your unique perception on a topic or your expertise. Nobody will bring it the way that you bring it. And the other thing is that you bring a beingness, a personality, a way of presenting it that nobody else does. You are uniquely designed to bring what you bring in a powerful, powerful way. That there is a remarkable group of people, and walk with me because I've got to shut the door here. My husband just came in. There's a remarkable group of people who want what you bring. They don't want what somebody else brings. And I tell you, the thing about the imposter syndrome is that it really requires you to dig deep and to know just how amazing you are, so you don't back away. You don't shy away from sharing your amazingness. And so, you know, I studied with the same mentor privately for 9.5 years. She was an amazing woman. And she has impacted millions of people around the world. And so much of what I say is her channeling, because you can't work with somebody that closely for that length of time and they not literally get into your DNA. Now, I bring my own personality to it. I bring my own little spunk to it. I've had my own awarenesses around this material that I share with you. I have my own language, and I'm not her and she's not me. So people don't come to me for her, they come to me for me. And I'm deeply grateful for her, deeply grateful for her. And I love it when people study with her. And there have been people who have come to me and said, I don't resonate with her, I want you. And it goes back to realizing that there are 7 billion people on the planet, 7 billion people on the planet. And the people who need to find you will find you. The people that resonate with you and won't resonate with anybody else on that particular topic, that they're looking for you. They're not just looking and then all of a sudden, all right, well, she'll do. They're looking for you. They're looking for your unique constellation of your beingness, and they're asking that you help them. They want your help. They don't want somebody else's help. So the voice that says, yeah, but there's so-and-so, man, there's so much, they do it so much better than I do. They're so much further down the road. Maybe, maybe not. You know, that's the other thing, is to challenge that voice and say, well, what if they don't do it better than me? Now, this isn't a competition. It's like nanny, nanny, boo-boo, you're better than I am, or I'm better than you are. It's an acknowledgement of your unique brilliance. It's an acceptance. It's an ownership of the way that only you can bring whatever it is that you bring, and that there are people who want you. So just take that in for a moment. Wow, there are people who want me. They don't want anybody else. They want you. They want you. So put your hand on your heart and just claim it. They want me. I have something so profound to offer. They want me. Put in the chat. And so with that then, I want you to think about, what is the unique gift that you bring? What is the special sauce? What is the wow that you bring, that you know that when people tap into that, you have the power to change their lives? Own it, loud and proud. put it in the chat. One of the things that I know I do, I'm not saying that other people don't do it, but people will resonate with the way that I do it, is that I believe deeply in who you are and what you're capable of. And I have an amazing way of breaking down universal law that makes it understandable and applicable. That's what I do. So I stand with you 100% believing that the very fact that you can think it up is evidence that you can bring it in, you can bring it into form. And I give you the tools and the methodology by which to do that in a very unique way. I own that, loud and proud. What is it that the voice is saying? Yeah, but there's other people who are doing it better than you are. It's like, but you know what? They're not doing it the way that I do it. What's the unique way that you bring, that only you do it this way, that people say, oh, that's what I want? That's how you overcome that imposter syndrome. So, number one of the main things that starts talking for people is the voice that says, if you only knew, and everybody knows this, right? There's that being an unconscious confident. Everybody knows this. Not everybody does know what you know. And this is just too easy for me. So why would anybody pay for it? Because they want the ease that you have with it. That's what attracts people. They want the ease that you have. Number two, there are people who are doing it better than I am. Why would they want me? Because they want you. And for you to own loud and proud your unique way of bringing whatever it is that you bring, and get clear about it. This is how I do it. This is the unique methodology. This is the unique perspective. This is the unique trait that I bring. What's unique about you? Own that. And there can be a million other people doing the same thing that you're doing. But the people that are yours will resonate with you, and they will raise their hand and they'll say, I want you to help. All right, so number three, here's the third most insidious voice that gets activated when this imposter syndrome kicks up. And again, this is usually when things are really starting to roll for you, when things are really popping for you, that imposter syndrome voice will start getting really loud. And the voice that it will start talking with, the thing that it will get loud with, that it will start telling you, you don't deserve this much good. You're not worthy. You're not worthy of this. I tell you, that insidious voice of unworthiness, that thing will stop people in their tracks faster, stronger, more cruelly. It cuts you to the quick. And that voice sounds so believable. It's crazy how believable that voice sounds. You're not worthy, you don't deserve this, who do you think you are? Just those insidious voices of unworthiness. Here's what I want you to know. You don't get anything else from this, today's live. Here's what I want you to know. The very fact that you are here and you are breathing is evidence of your worthiness. I want you to know right now, there's nothing that you did to cause yourself to be here. You did not put yourself here. You can't even take one breath on your own. You didn't wake yourself up this morning. Something so divine saw you necessary, saw that you were required. The world needed you. And it wove you into existence from the very fabric of itself, which is the fabric of love. You are created from the fabric of love itself. And the fact that you're here is evidence of your worthiness. So if you ever want to know if you're worthy, all you have to do is put your hand in front of your mouth and exhale. And if you felt your breath, then that's evidence that you are worthy, that you are the pure expression, the divine manifestation of love itself, woven into existence, and saying, You're worthy. You're worthy. You're worthy of life. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of success because you're here. One of the things that I've been working with recently is really looking at the gift of my presence and recognizing the gift of everybody's presence, that we all are a gift in our presence when we live from our true authentic self. And when you recognize the gift of your presence, then you recognize that there's a giver of that gift. And this divine intelligence that created you is the giver of that gift. And with that, then, is the guarantee of love, support, supply, nourishment, that you just get on about the business of being your brilliant self, of bringing your amazing self. That's all you have to do. Quiet that imposter voice and just bring your amazing self. And you open yourself up to receive the love and the nurturing and the support from the universe to bring even more of you forward. All right, so imposter syndrome. 3 voices. This is too easy. Why would anybody want this? Or everybody knows this, so why is this special? Not everybody knows it, and it's easy because you've been an expert at it. It's evidence that you are an unconscious competent. You don't even have to think about it. And this is the value that you bring people. Number 2, that there are people further down the road than I am. They do a better job at it. How do I even compare myself to that? Comparison, despair. Do not compare yourself to other people. Own loud and proud your unique way of bringing the gifts that you bring and that people want you. People want you. And then number 3, that insidious voice of unworthiness. I just don't deserve this much good. The very fact that you're breathing is evidence that you deserve good. You didn't put yourself here, that there's something profound that saw you as necessary. All right, so before we wrap up, I would love for you to join me Friday morning, November 20th, 9:30 to 12:30 Pacific time, where we're going to dig deep. 3 keys to creating your dream life, to creating the life that you love. We're going to dig deep into the Dream Life Activation Formula, really help you see what's required to bring your dream from inside your mind into the facts of your life. Do some visioning work, see what gets you stuck, give you some tools, help you tap into a way of listening to that voice of inspired insight to know what action steps to take. I would love for you to join me Friday, 9:30 to 12:30 Pacific time. My gift, the only thing I ask is that you make a charitable contribution to a cause of your choice. The registration's up in the description. Register and then come hang out on Friday. Give yourself permission. You may have plans, but the great thing about being an adult is that you get to change your plans. Give yourself the gift of investing 3 hours of your life. We're talking 3 hours in a really big life, and learning how and getting help with unlocking your indescribable power to then put it in service to what brings you most alive, because that is your highest contribution. So FeliciaSearcy.com/dreamlife will get you there. Register and then go make a charitable contribution to something that you believe in. So let's wrap this up. You are amazing. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. My name is Felicia Searcy. I live for your dream. Your dream is my passion, and I hope to see you Friday. Mwah. God bless.